I emphasize to one God is because I feel every other religion doesn't have that monotheistic, hardcore monotheistic element.
Because I'm coming from a Christian faith, and we do talk about monotheism. But then now that someone actually asked me this question, and I tried to make sense of it, and it's not making sense to me now.
No, me neither.
We talk about one that's three. And they're all three of one. It's just it hurts.
No, it does. It does. It's very hard to even comprehend. Because that's why I Christianity is a true monotheism, right? Essentially. So because if you look at all the religions, especially look at the major religions, right? Like you talk about Hinduism, Buddhism, even if you add Sikhism, who cares? Then Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, right? We believe that Islam is the only religion that actually worships only one God, no partners, right?
And when I have this conversation with people ask me why am I researching Islam? What made me choose Islam? Right? I don't believe in idols. I don't believe in praying to a statue.
Exactly.
I don't believe in talking or to an animal to talk to. I don't believe in all of that. I believe there's actually one God out there. An all-powerful being that actually put me on this earth for a purpose.
Did you ever read the Quranic arguments for why the only one God can be multiple gods?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because Allah talks about that in the Quran, actually.
He does?
Yeah, Allah talks about how, for example, He says...
I've only made it to chapter 14.
Oh, okay.
Well, all the way 1 to 14?
1 to 14?
Yeah, I read everything from 1 to 14.
Well, that's a few hundred pages then or something. Okay, it's nice. You read more than me. I haven't read it in English, to be honest. I never read that much in English. Which I should, but...
No, I mean, I don't know if you should, but whatever. Okay, he understands Arabic, right? Kind of.
I don't.
Yeah, so that's why he's saying.
Yeah. No, but I want to read the Quran
in English?
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
Because, my Arabic's not that great, and it gives you a different perspective, right?
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, okay, so some of the Quran arguments, obviously, Zubair mentioned some as well. But for example, Allah mentions how, what's that if there's more than one God, right? How, for example, if there's more than one God, for example, they would fight over the dominion, right? Or right? Yeah, because this God would, who would have the ultimate authority, right? How would it be distributed, right?
It can't be, more than one all-powerful being.
Yeah, exactly. They can be, because they're not both all-powerful.
Yeah,
because one has to. And then Allah also mentions that
that takes away from it, how you all-power, anyway, if they don't fight, they're probably gonna have to split different tasks.
Yeah, the dominion or the kingdom, etc. Yeah, you can't have. It's like having two kings. It's not possible. There's only one king. There's only one guy who has the final say, right? It's not like a marriage or something, right? Yeah. So Allah mentions it a few times, right? So it's actually very interesting, right? And He talks about how if there was more than one Lord, then every Lord would take what they created, and then they would fight one another, right? Because obviously you would want a full control, right? Why would you be spiced with half control?
I'm pretty sure there's one designer.
Yeah. And that's why you see uniformity throughout, right? Throughout
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why, that's why I'm researching through Islam, because, like I said, I don't believe in multiple gods.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna pray to this God and then go pray to that God. No.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Okay, so what are some major questions? Okay, so you start reading about Islam, you probably Google tons of stuff, Zubair sent you stuff. What are some major questions or some major things that standpoints that you're looking for in Islam, or major things that you've seen that you're have questions about, or about Islam, stuff like that?
Actually, I've went over this conversation so many times. The reason here is
sorry, it's my first time. So I don't know.
Just to get more information.
Yeah,
as I can as possible. I just lately I've just been surrounding myself with more Muslim people.
So did he answer your question about what Islam means to him?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Just grading him, right?
Did you answer that question as well?
He expressed that it's just submission to one God. He
expressed that's basically the theoretical definition as well, but I guess for me it's more. But if
he really emphasized the one.
Yeah. So I think I would like to add, as I was trying to say yesterday, it gives you a perspective of what this life is about, and that's very important. So I've recently started using a new analogy, right? So let's say if you start a new business. No, I mean, I think analogies are important because you relate to them.
Exactly.
Right? So let's say if you're evaluating. So right now, we just bought this stuff from Tim Hortons, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody were to evaluate that business, he or she would think, hey, what's the revenues, what the profits are, right? So that's how you would evaluate a business. But so I mean, you play basketball.
Yeah.
Right. So now if you go to your basketball court with your coach and your expectations from him or her are that, hey, I'm there for what?
I'm there to like get better.
Get better, right?
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
to get better.
So your expectations from your coach will be different than your expectations from us.
Yeah.
Right. So here, if I tell you, can you just paint this wall? Just like there's no heating here, or it's too cold, whatever, right? Then you'll think bad of us because here in this setting, we're supposed to make it comfortable for you. Mm-hmm. But is your coach supposed to make it comfortable for you?
Not really.
Because if she's making it comfortable for you, then she's not doing her job.
Yeah.
Right. So this is very important because a lot of time people treat God as if they're here and God is throwing a party, right? Yeah. They're a guest of God and God is supposed to take care of everything. They don't realize that here you are here for training and development and being tested, so that you can purify yourself, you can learn about yourself, how you behave in different situations.
That's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah.
To get better. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is very important, right? Because think about it, right? If you think of this world as, and that's what, why is there pain in this world? Well, yeah, but that's what your coach does to you too, right? Mm-hmm. But then you evaluate things from a different perspective. You look at the life from a different perspective. Mm-hmm. Same thing. So now what he's saying about submission and worship is very important because people think, this is my body. Yeah. Why is God telling me who I can marry, who I cannot marry, what I can eat, what I cannot eat, what I can see, what I cannot see, right?
Like what I think about my body, but this like from a Christian perspective, is that this body is just for me to borrow.
Oh, that's the same perspective as Islam.
Yeah. Because it's how you use that body, right?
Yeah.
So whatever the benefit, so that includes for the wealth as well as knowledge as well. What do you want that God is giving you, right? From your physical energy, ability, mental, intellectual, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's okay. So so go ahead.
Yeah, it's like what I said from my perspective is my body's for me to borrow and to use it for his benefit.
Okay, but that's not, so I would just correct a bit, so he doesn't benefit from us. That's very important, right?
Yeah. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying because
benefits us towards.
Yeah. So it's so for example, if you become better, in some sense your coach benefits. In some sense.
But I'm benefiting more.
Exactly. Right. So that's what the perspective is, right? That when we do it, it's for our own good. We by us worshiping God, he doesn't become a bigger God or has a bigger following.
Is that my body is not mine? It's just mine to borrow for now.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's the same standpoint of Islam. So saying that.
Yeah.
That's why certain things in Islam it's impermissible because it hurts our body, hurts your mind, hurts our physique, etc.
Yeah. So. Now to continue that conversation, like one of the things is like as an evidence to the truth of Islam, right? One of the biggest evidence is anything that's not from God will self-contradict itself.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why you were having this issues with the concept of three gods and the issue of God killing his son. Because that's from
what the Imam told me. He's like, if God's all powerful, why does he have to send his own son to die to forgive our sins?
Why can't he just forgive essentially?
Why can't he just do it?
Yeah, so that's one of the things. So you always find self-contradicting thing in any religion, any claimed religion, right? Because we only believe there's only one true religion, and we also believe the religion that Jesus brought was true, but we don't have access to it today. And also it does not apply today. Okay. Right? What does that mean, son? Like, what do I mean by
Jesus? It's not the religion of Christianity you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, what it means is because you're talking about the Prophet also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because essentially we believe that the Prophet came, right? And we believe all prophets came with a similar message, right? Mm-hmm. We believe when the Prophet came, he came with the most complete message and the final message. Okay. Right? So that's why anybody who's a true Christian, we believe it will lead them to actually Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Islam. That's what we believe.
So does that mean if somebody becomes a Muslim, it's kind of like turning his back towards Jesus or what?
Oh no. Yeah, exactly. Because
I know for you to be a true Muslim, you have to believe in all the prophets.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah.
And Jesus, Isa was one of them.
And Moses was also. Yeah, all of them. Exactly, yeah.
So for us, it's kind of when Jesus came and people upgraded to Jesus from Moses, they were not turning their backs to Moses, right? It's not saying, okay, I'm not with him
Jesus
anymore.
Was just adding something new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just upgrading to it.
Just adding to the message.
Yes, his adding to the message is also correcting it and rectifying it, any of the changes that may have occurred.
The times and era are changing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another thing I would say is that sorry, I wanted to mention something. I actually forgot. It was
about messengers.
Yeah. but I can't remember, so I'm just gonna.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, even if you look at the Bible, sorry.
Is this why I want to check my phone? It's like
There definitely should be. I think there's one here somewhere. Okay. On the back.
Oh, you need to charge it, right?
Yeah, I want to go back home with a dead phone.
No, let me find the charger.
There's a plug right there. You have a charger or don't have a charger?
I have a charger.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that even if you read the Bible, right, it's a definitely more, like fitting description that Jesus is a prophet and not God or Son of God, right? And it actually makes sense throughout all the messengers, right?
I think I was watching this debate because I watch a lot of Christian versus Muslim.
What, Speaker's Corner or?
I watch like Muhammad Hijab.
Yeah, Muhammad Hijab. Everyone watches Muhammad Hijab. Right? Zubair right behind you. Swear on the wall, right? As well. Okay.
And God worship. Yeah, I'm still looking for it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's
I'm still searching for where exactly he says that I worship me.
You should stop looking. Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, no, you're
not. And
that they try to use, but again, you could find like other examples of like.
And another thing too,
they don't really add up.
Another thing too, I'm like lately, like ever since I started reading, like I'm like there's this book that literally like the mom gave me. It showed me like one of the main consciousness, like it just picks at it. Like,
in the Bible
and like I go like I have a Bible. I go by myself. Like if it says, "Oh, this verse contradicts with this verse," I go see for myself, and they do.
Yeah.
So it's like my belief is like it's just being like my morals and views are changing right now.
Yeah.
You get it?
No, I do.
Yeah.
I do because it's very hard to be like rational and actually follow it fully.
My mom hasn't always been Christian. She's been like she believed in a God, but like back home when you say like you're Christian, it doesn't have to mean like you're serious. You know, it could just mean like you just believe in a God, right?
Yeah.
And she started taking it seriously probably like when I was like 7 to 10 years old. Okay. So from that time, it's like deeply rooted into me.
Yeah. And you said back home where?
I'm from Bahamas.
Oh, Bahamas. Okay. Yeah. Gabriel's from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Okay, so not too far away. Okay.
I'm an island boy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you started taking the religion seriously when you started growing up.
I started taking it seriously when I was a kid. I could recite Bible verses. Like if you ask me to find a Bible verse for you quick, I just know exactly where it is.
Okay, that's nice.
Like it doesn't take me there's this thing we used to do as kids. We call it sword drills, right?
Yeah.
Because like the Bible is like your sword, like like call it like your sword, like your weapon, right?
Yeah.
So as kids, like our leader would just be like, oh, like she just shouted a verse and the first one that gets it wins, right? And I'm usually always the one winning, you know?
Okay, that's crazy.
It's like Christianity has been deeply rooted into me, and now it's just like I'm finding just contradictions everywhere. And like you said, like if it's not like it's just being contradicted, like
it can be from God if it's contradictory. It doesn't make sense.
And I'm not saying like I do believe that it's been like edited and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying it's not from God. It's just like some parts like.
Well, yeah. We believe the original gospel was from God.
Yeah.
But we believe that loss and distortion occurred. Yeah.
So another thing, like I'm saying there's parts that were probably from that original.
Yeah, exactly. We don't deny that.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily deny that. Yeah.
But it's also another thing is like, what does God expect you to do today? Right? What is like, for example, God has given us directions, right? And guidance on what he wants us to do, what will take us to success, right? He is not keeping that hidden.
Yeah.
So there's a final message that does apply to us though. You understand, right? So what basically, let's say like what you're supposed to follow is just like how the people of Moses were supposed to upgrade and follow Jesus, right? Now in our time, the law that applies to us is the law of Quran, right? So, and actually we do believe that Jesus will come before the end of times and he will be following the law of Quran.
Yeah.
So just like how we prayed right now, Jesus will be leading the prayer.
Wow.
And we will be praying behind him. I mean, if you're alive or if you're in that sort of vicinity, right?
Like,
but the timings of the prayer, the how we pray, all that will be based on. And this is not because we are worshiping, Muhammad or anything like that. It's just that this is what God wants, and this is how Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, has taught us.
Like, from what I understand, like so far, is Muhammad's just an example. you're following.
Right. And also the carrier of the message, right?
Yeah. Like,
and this is all important.
He's just someone like you're trying to be like him because like the way how he worships God.
Right. And this is a very important concept of messenger. Because we don't like Saad can come and say, oh, I had a dream and this is how we're supposed to do things. That will not be accepted anymore. Right. So it has been taught, transcribed, preserved, passed on, and that's it is sealed now. So there can't be any new stuff that can come. So Islam is not really, in one sense, open to interpretations. So you can't have a new way of worship or reduction of worship and stuff like that anymore.
Speaking of that, I seen this funny thing on Twitter. It's like this is basketball player named Josh Hart, right? So he was walking past, he was like he looked weird, and the caption said, "When you walk into a new masjid and they're running around in circles, slapping their heads." Yeah.
Like someone like Sufis.
Yeah. So that's kind of like
So it's something like weird. That's not like.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's not like people have invented as something like, okay, let's worship God this way, right? So that's the whole thing with Christianity as well, because people kept coming up with these things and people took it as religion. Right?
So I know there are different branches like of Islam, right? Like what do you call it? Sunni and Shia.
Right.
Those are the two major ones.
Yeah. So like there's a lot for Christianity too.
Yeah.
And like even Catholics themselves, they have extra parts of the Bible that I'm just now finding out about.
Right.
It's like that's just like wow, like where did all that come from?
Exactly. So what's the safest thing to do in that situation?
The thing is, like, if you were to tell me to follow Christianity, like if I'm not like a believer at all, like I believe in a God, I just don't know where to go. And if you told me to go choose Christianity, the problem is like which one?
Yeah. No, so I would say the same thing, like which one, like, I'm saying from a principle perspective, right? What's the safest thing to do? Okay, so here's one way of thinking about it. Let's see what Saad would say.
If I say what the safest,
so he's asking which type of Muslim should I be, Sunni or Shia? What should he do? Like, what?
If I'm asking what's the safe, like if I'm telling you what's the safest thing to do, I believe I'm going to like find something for myself.
Yeah.
If something doesn't make sense to me, then.
I would say the safest thing to do is stick to the Quran, right?
Yeah. So just like basically using the bare minimum, right? So one of the things that happens, right? So I have some cousins who are into some of the extra stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my point to them. I'm like, look at this. Look. So my Islam is I'm doing stuff that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did, and his companions did. Yeah. So that's the minimum subset, and that's the safest thing because there's no challenge about it, right?
Yeah.
And now you're adding this extra stuff to it,
And that's when it gets scary.
Yeah. So let's say if I don't do it, first of all, I'm not even able to do everything that did it, right? I'm not able to do the subset, am I? Because there's so much, right? I'm just doing the bare minimum, maybe a few things extra, right? So I'm fine living in this territory.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're adding this stuff. If I don't do this stuff, Allah will not punish me, will he?
No.
Because it's extra. You added it anyways. And I'm only doing the bare minimum in this setup, right? So that's the thing. If you look at the Shia or any other thing, they would add stuff to this basic criteria, or they would say, you know what, this is not important. As long as you pay extra money, you're fine, or whatever, something like that. So they would either add to it, or they would reduce what the Prophet used to do.
All right.
So so basically it's not that hard, right? And then people who stick to it, if you really look into it, they just like are afraid of leaving the way they grew up or leaving some of the people they look up to and whatever, right? So you can just stick to the base that
culture could play into that too.
Yeah, culture, friendships, alliances, or what do you call it, tribalism or cult type of mentality or whatever.
That could all play into it for sure, and have played into it. Yeah, their history has been played.
So yes, as you said, like just going back to the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the safest thing, what I think is to do is go to the book.
Yeah,
exactly.
If I don't see all the extra stuff in the book, then I'm not doing it.
Exactly. And then like for example, like you do the same thing for from an athletic perspective as well, right? So there are all these new diets that are coming in, do this thing, and then somebody would say, oh, this has this a disadvantage and this is unhealthy and whatever, right? But there's certain things that everybody has agreed upon, right? Just stick to it.
All right.
Well said, brother Zubair. Well said. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
So my point is, look, how do you feel about Islam?
It's making sense to me.
Yeah. So
I'm just like I'm continuing finding like as much information as I'm getting. I'm trying to get as much information.
And we're also learning new things every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I'd like to say is that, look, there's two things. Like, one is like, imagine like, Saad loves analogies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're in the subway lines, right? There's so many subway lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to go and towards some place, right?
Mm-hmm.
At any point in time, if you're traveling, you'll be on one of the subway lines.
Yeah.
You can't be off a subway,
mm-hmm.
right? So you have to keep making a choice, right? So so let's say if you're pretty convinced that this subway line is taking you to your destination, you should hop onto it, right? And then when we are praying, for example, like when we're praying right now, what we say is like the first prayer, the part of the prayer is that the Lord of the heavens and the earth, right, guide us to the straight path, the path of those that you favored upon, the path of those that you appreciated, that you liked, right? And don't make us from the people who earned your anger or who went astray. Okay, so my point is like, if Islam,
wait, isn't that the
Fatiha?
Yeah,
I
was gonna say that was the first chapter.
Yeah, read that in every prayer.
Yeah.
Right. So if you look at it, like even from what we say, it makes sense. I mean, you're not, you understand? Like, I mean, there's no person who would say that this is not a good prayer to say, because we're not calling out an idol, we're not calling out a man, right? We're calling out to the Lord of the earth. And we're saying, look, this is what we want, right? And today, for example, if this seems to be the best path for you, way better than what you were upon, you should, take that path.
Learn as you go.
Yeah, and then we keep learning. You keep learning as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's say, hypothetically speaking, if you find, oh, you know what, God did send another book after Quran, hypothetically speaking, right? And you found that out, God will definitely show that to you, and then you move on to that one.
Yeah.
But by definition, from Quran, if Quran is from God, then Quran itself says that there won't be any more books from God. Okay, but am I saying that just like, let's say if somebody's coming in new and just exploring, right? So you do what is best today, and then God will keep guiding you to the next step and the next step and so on and so forth.
I really have to think about that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, take your time. But I mean, if there's, but if also be open about like
my whole problem with it is I don't want to rush.
Yeah.
Like I know, like I get what you're saying, where like I shouldn't waste any time, but like I don't want to rush either.
Yeah. So what is that good balance, right? What is rushing versus not taking any action sort of thing?
In a way, you could say I'm not doing anything, but I am reading. I'm still searching.
Okay.
Like, every night I try to read the Quran. I try not to like read and stop.
Right.
Like if I read and stop, I'm not gonna understand it. I try to read it all in one sitting. Yes. So even like there was a verse I was like, there was a chapter in there that was like 200 verses. I sat down and I read that entire thing. I didn't take a break. Like because I'm trying to understand it. I'm not trying to because if I stop and then I go do something else, I already forgot what I just read. Cool.
Yeah. So is it okay? So how is that going for you? Like, are you understanding? You're relating to it?
And when I don't understand, I hit up like a friend, like, hey, what do you think this means? Or, no, what do you think that means?
Okay, so is there any?
Yeah, that there was a part that I was kind of confused on, but I saw it in like one of these books.
Yeah, here's a full backpack of books, man.
How about these books? They gave me Quran too.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a more English-friendly Quran.
What do you think this one is? It's English.
Yeah, but I mean more modern English.
Okay.
Yeah. And it has some bracket stuff, like some explanations that will had you like so.
Yeah.
So we'll give you some context.
Yeah, I've had a problem with this because
Is this one you read right now?
Yeah. Okay. Because like as a kid when I used to read the Bible, I used
to
always like thou shalt.
Yeah, so we're gonna give you a thou shalt free clear Quran.
Yeah. It's actually
that's why I never complained, It's this book that I've been reading. I haven't started with this book yet.
Which book have you read? This one?
Yeah, I've started with this book.
Yeah.
So this is
Toodles.
clear Quran.
Yeah. So sorry. What you said you had a question?
Yeah. Where was it?
Well, whose translation is it?
It's good translation. Dr. Mustafa Khattab.
Really, it's a good one.
Yeah, that's what you should read, son.
Really, I never even seen this one before.
That's the thing, because you don't come to this office, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not invited to this office at all.
No, you are, right? It was good.
He actually breaks it into chapters, yeah?
Chapters like titles for the verses. I think there's combined verses as well, and then you have some footnotes.
Automatic, nice. This is yours, brother.
So like
Add to your
right
backpack.
here in the Quran, who's speaking? Like when it says like right here, be patient, O Muhammad, what they say, and remember our slave David. It says we made like who's we? Who's,
Okay. So you're talking about royal
us,
yeah, you can go to.
You know what?
No, go.
Like just read like those like what
Okay,
I'm
good.
trying to say is like who is we, who is us, who is our.
Okay. Go, Zubair. This is a very common question, but it's a very easy answer.
No, but he can do it. I'm dead.
No, you can do it because you could explain it better for sure.
But that's fine. I want to see what you.
Because like when I read stuff like that, like it's reminding me of the Trinity.
No. Okay. So you'll see it many times in the Quran, right?
Yeah.
It's used a lot to describe itself as we, us, etc. No, we believe that that's only talking about Allah, but it's the royalty, the royal we, right? It basically adds, just like status. Yeah. Even sometimes I'm working on a project by myself. Yeah. I say, we're working on this.
Yeah.
Right. It adds that that status, right? So when Allah's mentioning we, us, our, He's talking about himself, but it's the royal form of we. Like for example, the Queen of England, they say we and everything like that. So it's a similar possession.
So it's an understood language construct.
Yeah.
So if you go back to it, none of the Arabs thought that it's talking about more than one person. So
Exactly.
it's an understood construct in that language, right?
Yeah. Even in English, it's understood.
Yeah. But sometimes when Saad says, so I'll ask, what do you mean by we? Like, what kind of team you've got along with?
No, in modern English, it might not be understood much, but definitely, older English is definitely.
So and then to try.
They don't want to change it to I.
Yeah. Because sometimes Allah is saying just that.
Because like just to keep preserving.
Yeah. So they want to. So so they do want to keep as much as the meaning possible to in the English language.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But
because like when you dive into like translations and stuff, like sometimes like this won't exactly mean that.
Yeah.
Like certain languages, like you could say it in a way, but if you translate it to English, like roughly speaking, it means that, but like not really.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Look, so like this translation is not equal to Quran.
Yeah.
Right. This is an attempt to get you understanding Quran.
Mm-hmm.
So the Quran is very special because you think about it, like we don't know what Jesus said, right? Like literally what he said. Okay, so when we were praying today,
the Bible actually, everything written about Jesus was from the perspective of his disciples.
Right. So, for example, the prayer that we were talking about, Fatiha, right? And we translated it into English. But when we are saying in the prayers, we are using the actual words that Allah spoke. So when it didn't reach us. So you're making the same sound that the prophet spoke, the prophet said.
Yeah.
So even from a sound perspective, one of the not unique things you won't find in any other religion. Right. So obviously one of the things you have to think, okay, look, the main question is that, look, is this book from God? Is this from my creator? Is this what I'm supposed to follow? And there are various evidences to that. Okay. So I'm going to give you like one example. Let's get force me. How do you remember my unlock example?
No, I can't remember. I remember the battery one maybe, but not
which one?
The battery one.
What was that?
Well, it's not really an example. Just Iman.
Oh yeah, that's.
But the unlock example, I can't remember.
So how do we know that Islam is the truth? Yeah, and I asked Phillip, another Phillip that converted yesterday. Over here.
You just that video. I didn't get to watch.
No, I wasn't here.
Yeah. I sent it on the group too.
Dang.
Yeah. So
brothers bringing people.
No, I'm just being the thing. That's what I'm saying. Look, I didn't know it, right? So one of the sisters recommended it, and I started talking to him. That's how I get to know people, right? I mean, I'm not going on the street. It's my point is there's a lot of people who are searching for truth. We just need to show them.
Yeah. Exactly. But tell us your
So I asked him that, how do you know Islam is the truth?
Well, I think I seen this on one of your videos.
Okay, why don't you tell Saad?
He's saying so I'm not gonna lock this because my fingerprint's not on this, but if he gets the right finger, it locks it. And I think it has to do with what do you call it? Natural disposition or something?
Yeah.
Like,
okay, you're gonna be my next.
So like you said something about God puts this in our heart.
Yeah, so your heart is able
to feel like when something is true.
Yeah, so you know how you were saying that it doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
That ability God has given you, right? That doesn't make sense, doesn't add up, right? Even though from a physical perspective it makes sense, right? But there's something wrong. My heart, doesn't add up, doesn't make sense to me. I'm not feeling all right. Sometimes you have it when you're dealing with some people as well. that I don't know what's wrong, but I don't want to do business with that person.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you actually feel that in your gut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
like,
that's it.
Even when you meet new people, like you can actually feel their energy. Like me personally, I can actually feel someone's energy. Like when I first meet them, like I can tell a lot of someone just by even shaking their hand, like the type of person they are. You know, like if they shake my hand, like kind of softly, maybe they're shy, maybe they're like, you know.
Yeah.
And if they firmly grasp my hand, like maybe they're like confident, you know, like really strong-minded person, you know.
So what do you think about Zubair? No, I'm joking.
Zubair, I met him. This guy came.
Okay. Huh?
Oh, you remember that?
You did that?
When he see me, he came exactly like this and shook my hand. So like I can like I actually do like understand what you're saying, because like I feel like I can feel energy.
Yeah. So yeah, so so when you're evaluating it, the main thing is like it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that it's from God, right? So I'm saying there are various different things about it that you can look into. Like some of the things I look into it. Number one for me is about the salvation concept and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty clean in Islam. You know, you don't find that in any other religion. You know, and the second thing is, okay, so if that's from God, like what does He want me to do, right? What are the best practices? So if you go to your coach, he can tell you, hey, you know, I want you to do these things every day for you to be an amazing player you want to be.
My coach so I have to make sure I'm in the gym separate, like for myself, like separate from practice. I have to be in the gym like at least a good 4 days. I have to shoot 400 shots.
400 shots in a week?
Yeah. So out of 400 shots, I have to at least make 200 each side. So I'm actually shooting like 800. Right.
So here's my question, right?
Yeah.
So let's say if you take out Quran, you know, how do you access what God wants us to do?
You can't.
Right. So my point is there any book today that's saying that, hey guys, I am from God and this is what your God wants you to do?
So the Bible is actually written from like human perspective.
Yeah. So that, you know, there's a huge amount of challenge that even Christian scholarship that you can't take it back to and one of the things I tell people, look, I mean, you're celebrating Jesus' birthday. Right. I mean, everybody knows Jesus was not born in winter.
Me and my mom was actually talking about this the other day. So we have a Christmas tree, right? Yeah. And I walked into the living room and I'm seeing my mom, like she's just looking at the Christmas tree. Like me, I haven't really felt in the Christmas spirits for like a good 4 years.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's more of like a holiday thing. Yeah, I mean, I do feel that the time is different because everything is relaxed at work. Yeah. You have a lot of time off. Schools are ending. You see all the sort of, you know, worldly capitalism, vacation related stuff, but there's nothing spiritual about it.
So me, like continuing on what I was saying, like me, I'm in a way curious.
Yeah.
I like to feel I like information. Even when I'm sleeping, like.
You listen to audiobooks while you're living?
I like information. Like I just need something. Like I like to learn.
We need to find more people like yourself, right? So I'm sure that there are people in your circle that we need to talk to.
Like me, I guess I have that like in me, like where I like to learn, right? So growing up, I start to like notice so. There's nowhere in the Bible that says when Jesus was born. So I always was curious about why do we celebrate it?
Yeah.
Why do we call it Christmas and all that stuff? And then I started to think, where does the tree come from? Like, where is all this stuff coming from? So as I got older, I haven't really been feeling like the Christmas spirit, you know?
Okay.
Like, yeah, I get gifts or whatever, but like,
okay. So I'll give you
what am I actually doing, you know?
That's an analogy from your what your basketball coach would do, maybe, right? Yeah. So you might have seen that, you know, a coach would throw you into a competition that you thought that I'm not ready for.
Yeah.
But you just needed that extra push.
Yeah, I need that exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you need that extra push. No, you have to step in, right? So I would say the same thing, man. You can step in and you should take the Shahada. And that's what I told Gabriel as well, that, you know, learning will never stop, you know, and you know the concept of Satan that we have in Islam, right? Satan? Yeah. Right. So he would.
Iblis?
Yeah. Mashallah. You know, way more than man. You're ready for it to take. Resist that?
It's not like I'm resisting it. It's just like I see like how special it is, right?
Yeah.
I know that it's something serious. I just want to make sure that I'm serious about it.
Yeah.
Like I just want to make sure that's in my heart, because when I read the Quran, I know like these are major things that stick to me. Allah is merciful and forgiving. And what was I gonna say again?
So is there anything that you have read so far that tells you that there's like some chance that it's not from God?
Nothing really. Every single debate I've watched, like with Muhammad Job, like
he smokes too, boy.
Yeah, he's just eating them.
Huh?
Like what I'm saying is like, yeah.
No, from Quran again, from a Quranic perspective, right? When you're exposed to the Word of God, because that's another thing.
It's not something from the Quran that's me like holding me back. It's more like
the fear of what I don't know yet, sort of thing. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This is a very common thing, right? And that's why I was trying to tell you earlier about two things. One is, let's say if you're driving a car, it will always be driving. You're not really. Some people think, oh, I'm not making a choice, but by not making a choice, you're also making a choice.
Yeah.
Right. There's this notion of like, if you say yes to something, you're implicitly saying no to something else. So Saad, when he said, okay, yeah, I'll join you guys, he implicitly said no to whatever else he was doing.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's doing better than the watching TV at home or whatever he's gonna do.
Yeah.
But the point is that so by making a choice, you're also making a choice, right? And when you are decently confident enough, because you have been researching for a month, so it's not that you just
like a good 3 months now.
Yeah, so that's a lot of time.
Reason, like, what got me really interested, I took philosophy in grade 12.
Yeah.
That was the worst course I ever took. I should have never took that in my life.
Okay.
But the last thing I did was a project, and they gave me Islam in my group.
Right? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that was a private school or a public school?
Public school.
Oh, that's good, man. Public school doing good stuff. So who gave you Islam?
The teacher,
right? My teacher.
Oh, so they just use Islam and okay, you research something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the group, I was the only Christian, right? So
everybody
knows what they're doing.
Okay.
Like,
everyone else was Muslim?
Yeah, everyone else is Muslim.
Okay.
And
what school is that?
Martin Grove.
So it's like a highly Muslim populated school, or in your group, not in the class.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Muslims.
Okay.
There's like a different, like that's what I'm saying. I went to a public school.
Yeah.
See now, like
when I first came to Canada, I lived in these ends.
Yeah.
And then later on, before I started, I lived in these ends for like a couple months, and then I moved to the West End. My mom wanted me to go to Catholic school, and when she called, they said no space. Right? She called again, no space, no space, no space. So they put me in public school. Now I'm surrounded by a bunch of different cultures and different religions that I never knew about. Like, I never knew anything about Islam until I got into grade 9.
Nice. Okay.
Ever.
So you found it at your school?
Yeah. So I'm finding it at my school.
So that's another thing, right? I mean, how many people are saying this? I mean, like, we're not doing our jobs properly, right? People are there saying, I didn't know about Islam for 5 years. I've been in Canada.
But I live on an island, and I told you there's only one masjid. My country is made up of 700 islands and keys, and there's only one masjid on the island.
What do you guys used to call them?
I called it Little India because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's literally if you go search up the statistics, Muslims make up 1% of the population, and I literally call it Little India.
Yeah.
I've never known anything about Islam at all until I got here.
We should get you ready so when you go over, you take over as an imam of Little India.
And so my group had to do ours was based on Islam, and we had to do the 5 pillars. I can't remember which pillar I got.
Yeah. Oh, you got a pillar as well.
Yeah. Each of us got a pillar. I can't remember which pillar I got, but and he gave us booklets on it too, right? Yeah. So now I learned a lot about Muhammad, basically him being the founder of the religion, etc., etc.
Which is wrong.
Nah, that. Yeah, that is because so I learned a lot. I learned about his upbringing, where he's from,
because in Western terms, when you say founder, it's okay, Buddha was sitting someday and he came up with this philosophy and stuff like that. So that's not like it is, right?
Yeah.
So it's God, inspired thing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what I want my people to do.
I learned all through that sitting. I learned a lot. Now, I think I told you throughout all those 4 years, going through like all that, being surrounded by that like every single day, I started to ask myself like, what makes my religion correct? Against like yours?
Yeah, this is what I did too. Actually, that was the question that kind of made me serious in Islam, right? Because of what you asked about, like what's up with all these different ways of going, like even in Islam too, right? And that was a burning question for me, after university.
And like I told you, I don't believe in talking to an animal to talk to God.
Yeah,
I'm superior to that animal. Right. I'm not saying like in a way like how Iblis said it, like I'm superior to like human beings. Like I know like I don't have to talk to an animal to talk to God, because I'm more intellectual. God gave me the intelligence and he made me superior to that animal. I know that for a fact, right? I know I don't have to talk to, I know there's a God, and I know there's not more than one designer. Right. So I know that, right? And this question has been like in my head constantly for like years, but I'm stubborn. Yeah. And it's really hard to turn away from everything that you've been learning, right? Yeah. So I completely ignored it until philosophy, and I got those like one of the 5 pillars, and I searched through that. And so like I guess like I'm open-minded, but in that situation I didn't want to until like I just gave it a chance. Like let me just like go for a little bit more information.
Right. So now you have been getting information for 3 months. Yeah. Yeah. So my conjecture is that, Satan is holding you back, by saying, okay, it's special, you gotta wait. But the point is that he's making you procrastinate, right? It's just like, that's what my conjecture to you is, right? And that's what I said to Gabriel as well. Because look, Gabriel was researching, he came, and then, he was researching, then he came again. I'm like, okay, so, because there's never gonna be like the right time, because you have to, when you're going outside of your comfort zone, you're going to some new territory. Yeah. Sometimes you need to like hold hands and have that sort of external encouragement and step in. Yeah. And that's where you're gonna be actually able to actually see it, right? Because then once you get in the water, like you've checked out the water, it looks safe, it looks like successful. The only next thing is like go and try it out yourself. And it's not like the times where we are saying, okay, if you come in you can't get out. Right? It's not like that. I mean, that doesn't happen, right? I mean, if you come in, you can get out, right? But my point is that, to me, and the next step for you would be like to come in and join us in the water, the other side of the door, and then check it out for yourself.
Yeah, check out the water for yourself.
Unless you have like think that there's this concern I have, I can't trust it. Then I have to get my car inspected, whatever. But if it looks like a safe car, you get in and you start driving. And that's because what you feel by driving the car is not what you can do like by just like checking it out, right?
Exactly. Zubair is also mentioning this because it seems like a lot of your questions you have answers. Like there's obviously a lot of stuff we don't know and you don't know, but like it seems like generally you're okay with what you read and that's why obviously you're moving forward, trying to learn more and more, right?
Yeah, and this is the same thing for in anything in life, right? Because sometimes you have to like, I've done enough research, right? For example, okay, I want to buy a car, and there are some people like that, right? Okay, I want to buy a car, and they're like, it's been a year and you haven't bought a car, right? Because like
exactly. Yeah. Let me give an investment analogy. Yeah. This is where like analogies. Yeah. Well, it's not really an analogy, but it's like when you invest, right? Like many times I invest in projects, right? You do so much research about the project. You might, say for example, it's real estate. You'll check out the property. Check out the property 5 times. You look at the statistics of the area. You call a real estate agent. You do all this stuff. But there's still that fear, what if this, what if that, what if the market goes down, what if there's a recession, etc. So you always would have that little gap that you need to be like, okay, you know what? I got to put into the property and then I have to use this investment, right, into my future. And then if I don't like it, then I could go from there. But yeah, so that's what I think. It's like buying a car, like you said, or something like that, right? But as long as you did all your, your research and there's no more questions left to ask, that's what I think it is, right?
Honestly, do they even have any more questions?
You do have you should
2 Phillips back to back. Huh?
Philip yesterday.
There's a Philip thing coming here, huh?
Yeah,
King Philip
III. He prayed. I mean, Philip was here. I mean, in the other room yesterday, and it was like actually similar time because in 20 minutes we have the prayer. The first prayer that's going to be a loud prayer. This one was like a silent prayer. You did not hear Imam what he was saying.
The next prayer,
is going to be actually he would be saying it. He prayed us.
Go pray again.
Yeah. At 4:40. We will pray again, inshallah.
Hopefully you pray with us.
Yeah. So this time you won't be at the back chair. You'll be with us praying your first prayer.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna guide me?
Yeah.
Of course we will.
So I think you should, if you believe that Allah is the one who spoke Quran, who sent down Quran, and He is a God, and then you should verbalize it, and check it out by actually immersing yourself into it.
Yeah.
So, and it's very simple. You don't have to give me $10,000 like Phillip. He didn't do that either.
Yeah, it's literally one statement, and that's all it is, essentially, right? It's not like, and like you said, it's not like a point of no return.
Yeah.
Right. If there's questions in the future, obviously you're learning more stuff, and then there's always like, go back.
Yeah, we don't like, oh, you can't ask any more questions. Shut up. No, we don't do that.
No, that's why Gabriel comes every week. That's why
Gabriel comes up like he asks the same question again. Just kidding. No, sorry.
No, Gabe comes every week. He asks his questions, right? All this stuff. He memorized Surah Fatiha now.
Oh yeah. I shared that with you.
Oh, you shared the audio?
The first chapter, right?
Yeah. So he kind of got that. Yeah, like
memorized it in a week actually.
Yeah,
in a week.
Yeah. A week and a little bit, whatever it was. Yeah.
I'm sure you're a faster learner than him. I can tell you.
And he didn't
have a backpack carrying books.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he doesn't have a backpack. He doesn't even have paper.
I would have brought my laptop too, but I don't have anything on that.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we should verbalize it. Saad can help out with that.
And I'm low-key upset because I missed yesterday's Phillip. No,
yeah. So he's like, I gotta get
Phillip, No, that's not.
Actually, yeah. So yeah.
But obviously, I think it would be really cool. Obviously, if you decide to take it. Right?
So Dr. Bilal Phillips.
Bilal
Phillips. His last name is Phillip.
Oh yeah.
So he's Caribbean as well, and then he's a Canadian, and then So that's the thing, man.
He's Caribbean as well. He's a revert as well too.
Yeah. So he converted to Islam, and now he is a scholar that Saad looks up to. No, just like kidding. I mean, so he is now our teacher.
Yeah.
Right. So you can see like somebody can come in like with zero background, and now he becomes the leader and the teacher for the Muslim community.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So
because many people take it for granted stuff. Obviously, it's a gift. Islam is a gift, man.
So we should take the Shahada, I think.
You really think I should?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why. Look,
I don't see what you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
If anything, you're gonna gain something. You're not gonna lose something. That's for sure.
I mean, let me tell
right?
you something very important about this, right?
Yeah.
And this is important, right? Because sometimes the person is hesitant, and it's also because of shit. So this, sometimes people think, oh, what's the big deal, right? Let me tell you. So the Prophet of Allah, right? So imagine his status, right? He showed the miracles, and people are not believing in him, right? Jesus showed all the miracles. People are like, oh, it's whatever, right? Stuff like that. So now he's telling his uncle who's dying, right? So I'm dying. He's saying, say the Shahada, the statement of faith, right? And so I have something in front of Allah, even if you haven't prayed, like at least you have something, right, to take it to Allah. And he did not take the Shahada, because sometimes people are like they're so hesitant to take that. My point is, whatever I say, even if I say, okay, will you take the Shahada? If I snap my finger and the glass breaks, if Allah does not, and if that happens and Allah does not want you to take Shahada, you will not be able to take Shahada. I can only encourage you and help you see it from an intellectual perspective. So imagine the uncle of the Prophet Muhammad, who was so much supportive of him, he did not take the Shahada.
Not that was Christian?
No, so he wasn't Christian, he was idol worshiper.
Yeah, idol worshiper.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so some people did take Shahada and some people did not. So I'm just saying that this statement is very special, and no matter what I can do, I know that I or Saad are not able to help you.
Guidance is from Allah.
Yeah, so we can just encourage you, hey man, you know what, you gotta step up and do the thing, right? But regardless, as I said, like even if I do a miracle, you wouldn't take it unless Allah allows you to do it. And if you're sincere, Allah will facilitate it for you.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then it's not gonna help you anyways, right?
Yeah. And also, I would say, at this point right now, you're like in between, right? You're not like Christian, you're not like Muslim, right? You have like nothing to lose, essentially.
Yeah. I think someone said in your videos, like right now, I label myself as someone that's just searching for God.
Yeah, but I mean, you found it, right? In Quran, for example. So by you not saying it, there's an implicit statement that I'm not confident that this is from God. And if you're not, then you're not. But if you are, as you said, I don't find anything. I mean, you've read like how many chapters? You said 14.
I got to chapter 14.
Chapter 14, right? That's almost half of Quran.
Yeah, that's almost half of Quran.
Wow.
That's half of Quran.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I opened random A, and that's
What is it? Praise be to God who has
created the heavens and earth and brought it into being darkness and light.
That's
Yet those who denied the truth set up equals to their Lord. It's He who created you out of clay, and then has the creator term for you.
So with 14 chapters, man, I mean, we have people taking Shahada without even reading like.
Well, it continues. Yet you are still in doubt. He is God both in the heavens and on the earth. No, I just opened. No, I'm just saying. Like, just people say it's a sign. Inshallah, perhaps it's a sign.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually very special. I mean, what we are saying is just like our words, but obviously, the words of God are the words of God, right? I mean,
I don't know. There's this. I think his name is. Isaiah, whatever. The brother. He used to be a Christian, whatever, preacher, or whatever, and then he became Muslim.
Who? Yusuf Estes?
No, not Yusuf Estes. I think his name is Isaiah or something. He's a young guy, orange beard, yellow beard, or blonde or something.
It's like a YouTube guy?
Yeah, YouTube guy. Anyways, it's someone, I can't remember. Anyway, so he's talking about how when...
Yasin, no.
I can't remember.
I think, yeah.
So I think such... I can't remember. Anyway, so talking about how when he was like looking into Islam and stuff like that, he had like so many questions, right? And he went to his like, to the whatever, the priest or whatever, the shop or whatever, and then he asked him, and then he was like, he was telling him basically don't ask these questions. These questions are not, not for you to ask, right? Which is weird, obviously, especially if you're the truth, right? But anyway, so then he, was like, no, research. And he said he researched all the religions, right? But then he never researched Islam because in his mind he said Islam was like extremist religion. No, he was like, no way, Islam can be the truth.
Yeah, it's like little India, right?
Yeah, so he like researched Hinduism, Sikhism. He said everything. He's like that's great. Even Judaism, everything. He was like researching. He was like, I'm never gonna touch Islam. And then I forgot something happened, and he's like, I think some friend mentioned it. So he was at work or something one day, and then he was like, I'm researching all these religions, etc. And then he's like, his friend asked him, did you ever research Islam? His friend's not Muslim though. But he's like, did you ever? He's like, no. Why would I ever research it? He's like, maybe you should look into it. Why not? Like, what do you have to lose, right? So anyways, he goes and researches, and then he's like, wow, this is amazing. So he's liking it so much. He's reading it in English and everything. And then he wanted to accept Islam, right? But then he wasn't there yet. He was like, man, I need a sign. I need a final push. Everyone needs that last push, right, to pass the finish line, right? So he's like, I need something, man. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna sit there, and, like he was in his room, or whatever. And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna open the Quran, right? So he didn't open the Quran. He was like, he sat down and he asked God. He was like, God, if you're the truth, if Islam's the truth, show me a sign. And he said he just sat in his room. He's like, please. He's like, please, like the lights turn off. He wanted any sign. He's like, the lights turn off. He's like, the windows crack. He's like, I want anything. That's what he was saying in the video.
Oh, right? Yusha Evans.
Yeah, I mean, Yusha Evans. Yeah. Yusha Evans. Yeah. He's like, yeah, you should watch his story. He's like,
I sent you some reward stories last night. I don't know if you had a chance to, but okay.
Yes, sir. You sent me a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And even the app, app that you showed, I was playing around with it.
Yeah, he got a prayer app, man. He's like, oh, I'm gonna learn prayers. I'm like, well, let's tap that. Let's sort of more like it's very important, right? I mean, look, God forbid, like at the end of the day, our test can end anytime, right? Maybe you may not reach home, maybe I may not reach home, right? So that's the thing. So anyways, what happened?
So it was Yusha Evans, right? Yeah, now you remember the name. Yeah, so he's just saying, he's like, please, any sign, just God, please, right? If Islam's the truth, show me a sign, right? So then he just waited. He's like, yo, I think he had a candle. He's like, yo, add something, flicker, anything, do anything, right? He just wanted anything, right? So he's like, man, forget it. And then he was like, you know what? It was on night, whatever. He's like, I'm going to read the Quran and I'm going to go to sleep. Right? He opens the Quran to a random page, and or the page that he was reading from, and then the first ayah of the page, right? He says, look at the skies, look at the heavens, look at the oceans, look at the creation of the heavens and earth, right? These are signs for those who have intellect, whatever. And he's like, wow. He's like, I've been looking for this small stuff in my whole, right now, and looking for something small. But he's like, reality, the signs were around me, and I didn't even notice them, right? And then he became Muslim, and now he's teaching people Islam, and he's a like person we look up to and we take knowledge from, right? It's amazing, actually. Yeah. So sometimes we're looking for that extra things, but in reality, it's the whole world is the sign that we're looking for. We just, God gives some people sight to see, and God doesn't give some people sight to see, right? Yeah. So soon, man, we need you to pray with us. I'm playing. Obviously, it's here.
So let's do it. So basically, the way it happens is that the words of Shahada, as you know, right, is that you're saying that I testify that there is no one worthy of worship except one true God, Allah, and I believe that Muhammad is a messenger and slave of Allah, and Isa, Jesus, is also a slave, which I'm pretty sure that you already believe in, right?
Yeah.
It's just
you just basically articulating what you already know.
So basically, in a way, I feel like conflicted.
Okay.
I'm still.
That's good. That's good. If there's something that can pop out, that's good.
It's just like I said, it's hard to turn away from everything that you've been taught as a kid. It's deeply rooted inside me.
That's very important, right? And that's why I was saying earlier that you're not turning away from anything.
In fact, you're turning towards it.
Yeah. So it was just basically, it was like you realizing that, look, hey, I love Jesus, but man, he wasn't born in December. I'm not celebrating his birthday. Who am I kidding, right? So when you learn that stuff, you're not turning away from Santa or anything. You're not turning away from Jesus. You're just like
I never
turning.
believe in Santa.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So who got you like
As
gifts,
a kid,
man?
as a kid, like my mom took me because I used to live in Miami too. Like I go back and forth.
Okay,
like really close to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And my mom took me to, I think in Miami it's called like the Christmas Santa Fest Fair.
Oh, great.
And she made me sit in his lap, and I literally pulled his beard and said, "Bro, you're fake."
So that's the thing, man. Your God actually gave you that ability to like speak
Yeah.
up the truth and like kind of ask questions instead of like, okay, this looks like fun. I don't need to say anything, right?
Yeah,
That's a very good quality, actually.
I've never been the type to just actually do something that someone tells me. Like, I'm pretty. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm disobedient.
Yeah.
I'm
rebel,
disobedient. Like I rather find the truth in something for myself.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like you like took that step, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you traveled for 1.5 hours, man. At this age, who does that? People would do it like if you get into a club or something, right? To come to a mosque, a house of God, it is special, you know. And I'm just trying to, I'm trying to encourage you to take that next step. And I know you'll be fine and you'll be thankful for that. I mean, to be honest, like, everything is in the hands of God, but I'm just saying that, look, we are talking about Gabriel today like this, but I mean, his trajectory was like, he has been talking to his friends like for years, but sometimes you need that sort of extra push that, look, it's your thing. I mean, you came here, we didn't come to you. So it's your discovery. You have been reading it. And we just try to say, hey, you know what? Why are you on the side edges, right? I mean, get in the court, start dribbling.
Pick the game winner, huh?
So yeah, you were saying about conflicting,
right? Called me a polytheist.
Called you?
Yeah.
Why? What does it say?
What does it say?
What's like the context of what's this?
Well, obviously I didn't see this part, but
you're saying the first word you opened is a polytheist?
I see polytheist, and I kept reading. It's talking about how like those who divide their faith and split into sects, each rejoicing in what they have. When people are touched with hardship, they cry out to the Lord, turning to Him alone. But as soon as He gives them a taste of His mercy, a group of them associates others with their Lord in worship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Keep reading. No, it's a good. I'm saying keep reading. Maybe it will.
Any questions? And yeah, Zubair.
But when are you guys gonna go pray?
4:40.
45, I think, right?
45, yeah.
40, so like 10, 11 minutes.
But we have to make wudu too, right?
So like they make the call to prayer like 4:45, and then like 5 minutes after we pray, basically.
Yeah. So about the conflicting stuff. So what you're doing is like you're saying, hey, you know what? This is you're kind of like correcting what you were upon, not leaving it. Right? Because you're still like if I was able to make a phone call to Jesus Christ, right? Peace be upon him, he would say, yeah, guys, please upgrade to the next book, right? Follow the messenger after me. Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. So if that is either that is true or that is false, right? If this is true, then you are not turning back from anything. Because you're not coming from like Hinduism or anything like that. That's a different thing.
Exactly. This one you just affirm what Jesus actually came for.
This is like, oh, okay, I wanted to follow him, but I just didn't know anything better, so I just did what people told me, right? And it started seeing contradiction. So now, like, yeah, actually, this is the message of Jesus, right? This is what you're supposed to do. So it's just like you're correcting your path, not just like it's not as much of a turn away sort of thing.
Grab myself an ice cap after.
You want to call a friend? Like,
you like when you're like 50-50? Huh? Should we do your options?
Who wants to be a billionaire, right?
Yeah, huh? Ask the audience. Hey, we're the audience here, so we're like, no, or 50-50 option. No. But since there's only 2 options, no, I'm just playing with you.
Maybe I should just ask them what they think.
Who?
Sorry. Maybe I should ask a friend. Maybe ask them what they think.
Yeah, let's do a live call. We did a call. We're calling from the.
Abu Huraira Centre.
No, actually, do you want to call him? Let's do a live call. Put him on speaker.
I'm not gonna call, but
I'll text you.
Yeah.
Okay, you want your phone? It's charged now. Here you go. Let me get your charger.
You don't forget your charger.
I'll get it.
Is his friend Muslim or not Muslim? He's Muslim. Oh, Muslim. Wow. Okay.
Are you guys hiding anything from me? Like, are you guys tell me?
Question: do you think I should take my Shahada? This is my charger.
And if you say no, Zubair will come hunt you down.
We're coming for you, eh? Just give us a name and a plate, though. Is the computer better than the Mac?
Yeah.
You feel like it's better than the Mac?
No, it depends. Sometimes I've tried reading on it,
yeah,
but not frequently.
You got back to you or not?
Yeah, message you.
Oh, okay, 6.
I'm gonna ask Iman too. Ask her what does she think.
Yeah.
Ask her if you take a shot, would you marry? No joke. Come on, no joke. A Shahada and a wedding same day? Come on.
Nah, I'm okay. I'm not looking for a wife right now.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm focusing on myself.
That's very good. That's sick. Is your thing on?
What do you think?
Camera?
Maybe.
Oh.
Every day.
If I'm not playing,
You're watching.
Watching.
Your own game or somebody else's
I'm playing
game?
2K20. Basketball. Everything's basketball. Even the garbage in my apartment in Peterborough is the basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they play 2K here all the time in FIFA. Yeah, in that room. You seen it?
Here?
Yeah, they have a room, game room. Whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, they play. Well, they play FIFA more typically, but they play 2K. You know, like Fortnite, all that kind of stuff. So is this Mu'tazil office or no? Like, where is he at?
Oh, he's part time now, right?
Yeah. So whose like office is this?
Ours.
Really?
It's a shared space, right?
It's a shared space.
Yeah,
Well,
Sheikh Qasim, myself, Sheikh Mu'tazil. Even when he was here, it was you share.
Can I get some shared space in this place?
Yeah.
Huh?
Told you that.
You might get any monkey access
You have
24.
to, yeah. So what do you think, man? We don't have a lot of time. I think we gotta pray our first prayer. Bismillah. Okay. So let's see. Let's repeat after Saad.
Okay.
Okay, so at least can I record this?
Yeah.
Yeah? With your face or without face?
Yeah, with my face.
My face?
Are you gonna put it on YouTube? I don't want to be on YouTube.
Yo, you only get like 4 views.
So what I'm gonna do is maybe I'm gonna take from your backside. Like not show your face, I'll show you the back of your
Are you gonna put my name? Just put Phillip.
There's there are hundreds of Phillips, right?
Yeah, just put my
There was one that was yesterday too, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you just give me a second.
This is where you could tell the channel. You did
No.
not the work.